Like, hey boy, you want to waste your time? Here's a picture of my titties. I hope you think they fine. Like that's the end of that.
You want to waste your time? Well, don't. Okay, how about you don't?
I mean, bitch.
We're we're getting it. We get off to the good, but man, don't fuck it up. Don't be weird. Like,
For women that are like supposed to be artists of some sort, do you really want to hear their music? Good or not? Like, do you want to hear it?
that are supposed to be like music artists or just like
I'm leaving it broad for a reason, but I was going more music, but it doesn't really matter.
yeah, like if you're a music artist and you're like, oh yeah, like, but if you're like I paint and like oh fuck you get mixtape, like it's cool, like you might I shouldn't say like never, but like that's not. It's like, oh, by the way, I make music, and I'm like, okay, is it good? Because like like
No, I mean if they're an artist, and I don't mean if they're like, I don't know. I don't necessarily mean if they're like a really really good artist. I just mean like in general. Who knows?
this is not working.
That's not because it's covered. The thing is covered.
Oh,
the door is in the way.
Shit. All right, y'all fucking just look at stuff.
Oh, we're on? Yeah. Oh. Hi everybody.
Oh, that's damn, that's the good shit. That used to really be my fucking move. Like when you like
just get everybody to just candid recording.
Yeah, like because like everybody be like, yeah, I want to get on podcast. And this was before like cameras or anything like that. It was just in a fucking room. But as soon as you say, oh shit, we live, they just be hey. So you just be like talk. And it's like you just click it. And that's when motherfuckers get their shit off. You be like, hey, when we gonna start? Bitch, we've been on this motherfucker for 40 minutes. Yeah. So what? No, it was good. It's an amazing conversation. But no, yeah, like for female musicians, like yeah, like if you're like I'm an artist and I make music, then I'm in. Like
part of me kind of doesn't, but I'm also kind of weird. Like when I see people doing live performances on TV, like I don't want to watch it, and I'll change the channel. Or like more so like especially for what's the name of that guy, America's Got Talent. Like I couldn't watch that show because I don't want to hear you guys try out, whether you're good or bad. I just don't want to hear it.
I used to watch the initial like the singing one with Fantasia on there. Like I remember I watched that way for a minute. I'm cool with like if I'm hearing like a song, I'm down to like listen to new artists and shit. I'd be like cringy when like somebody might be like, I really make blah 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 good music, and then like they just make the same music as everybody else. Like not to be like super whatever, but it's all that, like who's a like good.
You look like you follow the status quo.
Yeah, like because I think sometimes as much as we talk about hip hop, R&B is kind of sometimes like you hear Tank, and Tank will get on fucking social and put a fucking 7-page memo about the state of R&B. But I kind of agree because you'll have a lot of. It's a lot of just I can't sing, so y'all can tell me to fuck up, but it's just a lot of that. It feels like it's all throaty, and it's just everybody's whispering to you like this, and they want to talk about boop bop bip do, and it's like you didn't fucking, and then you got somebody like, and then you see their personalities online if you want to go look at them, and you just be really a pretty motherfucker who wants to sing, and then you got a goofball in Ari Lennox who's gonna like fucking sang from her goddamn heels or some shit, and it's like, why the fuck is this even like? Who's in the fucking office is like, that's a good track? No, it's not.
That's a marketable, sellable track. It doesn't have anything to do with it being good.
That shit, it just.
But I don't know. One, we already know the state of music. People aren't going to choose actually decent songs. Even like for this one, like this isn't a mainstream song, but it's still a nice melodically inclined song.
I don't think she gets her flowers. I mean, she's good. She's like, I don't know how long Victoria's been like fucking doing music, but her shit's fire. She gotta, even if you're not like a singer, like have some good beats.
Yeah, make a little nice little bop to it, a nice little vibe. And I think that's kind of what bothers me. Part of me just judgmental, I'll be honest. Like I can just look at people and I'll be like, I don't know if I want to hear that. Or like just randomly, even if you're scrolling through Instagram and everybody wants to be a music artist of some sort. So it's this random chick who has, the stereotypical ass shot picture with said caption talking about energy and also wants to tell you about their single. And it's like, I don't want to hear your
She out there with a celestial BBL. She got that rose quartz in your ass. But I don't know. I feel like that sometimes. Like
freaking sense nipples, bitch.
yeah. But I feel like that sometimes, like, you be listening to music and it just be like, like there's an album that I've been like playing like repeatedly. Bro's name is I want to say it's McKinley.
I want
But
to say McKinley.
yeah, and it's like, little Virgo mind. Shout out to us, gang. But in his shit, like it's like, oh, you can hear shit like, you sound like your uncle, like that boy playing instrumentation. And I'm like, as a kid, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And then like now I'm like, hey, that matters, man. Like it's a good bit of musicianship. Like I like when like, Masego be singing and like that shit just break and it's just a whole sax solo. Like those shits matter to like music, at least for me. Maybe if you a boom bapper, whatever.
I thought about that today. Like we are officially like old heads.
No, we yeah,
we definitely
we
old heads.
Yeah,
we're definitely riding down the street listening to either some old shit that we grew up listening to, or something that is not the norm of what's being played.
I legit. I was in the bathroom getting ready, and it was it yesterday, day before? I think it was the day before, and it was like 9:30, and I heard like. And I out loud, it's fucking 9:30. And it was nobody in the house with me, but I was like, it's fucking 9:30. What the fuck? And I was really pissed for a good like 12 seconds. I was like, God, because all it took was and it was gone. But I was like, come on.
Even that is old school unk status. Because even like I still to this day I want a nice sound system. I want some beat. But to just have obnoxiously loud beat that can be heard outside of my vehicle clearly, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't understand the purpose of it. I know when I was younger, I wanted it, but as I've gotten older, like that's excessive.
It just has to, I think I'm still, I guess, with some of the loud, but it just got to make sense. Like, I think people just, I don't know, not misunderstand, but I think there is something to, as much as we hate this term a lot, it's like there's a vibration with music. And I don't know, man, I'm a fan. Like, I love, like, as we've sat here and talked about, man, Boosie and Webby and them, they got me through school, through a lot of, substantial times in my life. But fuck, man, I just, like, that's why niggas like shit like Blast. It's a vibe, but it's LA vibe. And then I want to fucking I might want to listen to some old school shit. I love Crit, and Crit's gonna give me some shit that make some shit knock, but then it's gonna be some shit that this is some sexy shit, man. Right. This is some pimping. But not like, it's like Patrice level pimping. It's like, I don't have enough in me to put her on the track, but just enough to be like, get in the car, bitch. You like, yes, dad. Like, you just a little bit. Like, it's right on the tip of like, yo, nigga, this is wild. But like, you right there.
I feel like that's even part of it too. That as you bring that up, because as an adult, when you have other adults in the car, there's some sort of conversation that's going to go on, and the music has to get turned down. But if your shit is excessively loud to like, I can hear the lyrics from my living room loud, like what? How do your ears function? And how you're clearly doing this on purpose because you don't want to talk to whoever's next to you. But on a more serious note, do you think people do that shit as an insecurity? Like their insecurity makes them want to have something obnoxious, like obnoxiously loud engines, obnoxiously loud music, grandiose shit when it comes to their
to vehicle? A degree. Yeah, you remember like shit that was, I can't speak for everybody, but like I remember like my first car, like in high school, I had Thump, and it was like, see me, and it didn't matter. It was like, I had a specific. That was back when CDs, yeah, motherfucking streamers. I had
CD changer. Was you balling like that to where you had a CD changer in the trunk?
Okay, I wasn't balling. My uncle was always big on music in his cars, and he had let me, because he had moved up to like adult car. He was like Lexus, and he was like, here, you take like Grand Cherokee. And I was like, fuck it, man, because that nigga could have drove a jalopy, and because he drove it, I thought it was the coolest shit ever. So as soon as I was like, oh, this is the shit that you used to ride me around in, and now I get to ride in it. And then I was like, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna just leave the sounds in it. So it was cool. It had a wonky changer. Like you had to really like, and then like it had to like adjusted so you can slide the thing out. But fuck it, man. I thought that shit was amazing. But yeah, I had CDs, and I would go in and like really like I was like in my mind I was Dr. Dre because I was making sure that every fucking song but that was all to be like seen. So I knew my car wasn't the fastest, but I needed to have a car that had like the most thump. And so you could be like, see me, nigga. Like we won a game, like you gonna see me. I pull up for practice, you gonna see me. I pull up to the party, you gonna TJ here. Like you needed to hear that shit thumping.
See, I had in high school money on the gas. That's what I had. I didn't have no vehicle, but the CDs and mixtapes that I made, I would make them in the same way. Like I'm orchestrating, I'm A&Ring. Anybody that comes from our generation that was burning CDs, we had A&R skills that we never got credit for. But I was definitely
every
A&R.
nigga. I've had that conversation. So many times, mad niggas should have at least tried the A&R. Hey. I know it's like a really like, not super secure unless you just land you a fucking but man, because niggas got ears. Like mad niggas got ears.
Definitely had ears. Definitely understood the storytelling and transitioning through. I want to start here and I want to end here, and all of these things are just going to crescendo the entire time. It's gonna.
Oh yeah, like it needed to.
When I get my car, then I can do this, and I can have the obnoxious bass. And let me also do some sound mixing and mastering, because I know how to manipulate the sound inside the car to make it sound a certain way, and turn the bass up here and the treble here, and let me fade it just like 2 notches to the left, and then like fade a couple to the right, to the rear. Like you knew how to play around with it.
Mm-hmm. But
to have the obnoxious sound. Only to get older and be like, I need my eardrums.
Like I still like sound. I still like thump and all that.
Absolutely.
But I think there is a level of obnoxious that I'm absolutely not here for. And then especially when it comes to like and I like muscle cars. I like old schools.
Absolutely.
And I guess maybe it's a bit of specific because I like a certain type of like, okay, nigga, that shit got some shit in it. But I don't like none of you want niggas, and you can take that shit up. I don't give a fuck about family or none of that shit.
I put that shit on the Twitter a month ago, roughly. Like, I'm tired of you motherfuckers with these engines out here. That
Get out the driveway. Like, what the fuck?
Sounds like shisha. You sound like the hookah bar.
Yeah.
Knock it off. Knock it off. It's you guys, especially out in the valley where I'm at. It's them, the little Armenian dudes that had every car they get gotta sound like that, or the Latino dudes that even at like 8:30 in the morning they got their pickup truck and Bruh, it is 8:30 in the morning. You got all the windows down, blasting. Why?
Speaking of vehicles, this is maybe not a complete detour, but a pretty hard one. So, like, that made me think. We're talking about cars. Obviously, like muscle cars are cool. I like those sounds. I like even that can get a little obnoxious. So, like, I don't need you don't need to have your fucking like you need chargers. Like, don't be across the street. It's fucking.
And motorcycles.
Yeah, nigga, it's 7 a.m. Like, shut up. But as far as motorcycles, I need like my motorcycle community, my people, because I know a couple of you niggas that ride. All right, I can know where like the Harley, the fucking biker club niggas. I know where y'all tear at, even for duets or the blacks. We're a little more put a lot in they fucking bikes.
Yes.
Even if you are the crotch rocket, you want to. I know where you guys stand. I even know where you like. I don't even know what to call those type of bikes, but the shits that you catch James Bond ride, and they look like they're not dirt bikes, but they look like little Italian Ducatis, but like it's sexy. And I wear like my leather fucking jacket and it's buttoned up at the top, my little sexy sleek helmet, and then she wears her matching thing, and we go shoot and take out fucking. After I take it off, and there's a suit under it, or like those shits. But the motherfuckers that are out here riding like the giant scooter Power Ranger bikes that kind of look like, where do they fall in the bike? Like when all the biker motherfuckers go to the biker stuff, I feel like you all like meet and hang out, and it's like bike on, and then you guys have like biker nigga discussions about like who owns certain parts of the fucking road, like Mad Max. Like, do y'all just go, you pussies get out and wait out back until we're all with like respectable bikes, like until we all say some shit. I be feeling like that's how it goes.
I would also want to wonder where they fall as far as like people that have the newer bikes that don't make a lot of noise, but they're still fast as shit.
Mm.
And you don't see those too often because everybody wants to, everybody wants. But even like, I was watching fucking Snake Eyes last night, and that reminded me of it. I was like, oh yeah, they got fast ass like Kawasaki Ninja type bikes that, fast as fuck, but barely make any noise.
So does that mean like if you want to be a true like actual top tier, you know?
I'm a Michael nigga.
I was talking about just like killer nigga, like you should get like an electric car or some shit.
I mean, the ninjas are riding the motorcycles that.
See, that makes sense. Like if you gonna really like, we finna ride on this nigga. The niggas still do drive by, they still thing. Like, niggas just text. I don't know. Like I'm a regular human. I'm a civilian, but like I feel like if you have like an electric car, like that's what you like. You really want to do it to them if you got one of those, because you never hear them bitches pull up. Be like, by that time you shot.
There's a couple dudes in the hood that's whipping Priuses and doing some shit in them.
You niggas are those are the scary niggas. You niggas are professionals.
Blasting RJ and Problem all day long.
Shit, you saw what fucking the Equalizer was driving. That nigga was driving like, that's a killer, man. Like those movies really fuck me up because I'd be like, I wonder how many of those motherfuckers exist for real.
But that's contradictory. And when it comes to the stereotype, because technically having the quiet engine, the Prius type, is supposed to make you less of a man. Like it's supposed to be more manly to have everything in your car be loud as shit.
That's what you assume. It's some motherfucking it's some see, I be thinking about a lot of shit. My thing is like a Prius driver who's fucking John Wick or some shit is like, he's sitting at a Pittsburgh game, and you're sitting there with your unruly woman and he's trying to have a conversation just with you, like, sir, I'm trying to, and then she smacks him and he like has a flashback to fucking, Kuwait, and now you guys dead in the stadium and he's changed identities or some shit. That's not what happened, but like there's still like
your woman is the loud, obnoxious car.
Man.
Just like for no reason.
You gotta trade the bitch.
You trade her in because she no longer fits with the times. You got her. She has a 1990s mouth. Fuck. Like she's just completely outdated, super loud and obnoxious for no reason. And everybody that's able to get with the times is nice and quiet and says, hey, we don't need that here. And then she shows up, shut the fuck up, pussy, slap.
So first and foremost, you guys had to see the video, man. There's this white couple, and I'm conflicted with this video because one, wild, outrageous white couple, just fucking this white woman specifically.
It's not
really the couple.
Outrageous. It's her.
It's not really the couple. I'm blaming him because
check your bitch, nigga.
Yeah, you set your life in motion like this. Like you just like, I felt bad for him, but then I was just like, you are an active participant in your own demise because you don't have to be here. You don't have to deal with that. So they're sitting there and the video starts out. She's going back and forth with black dude, black man, you just a lot. And you need to, and he's like, yo, like you can see he's irritated, but he's initially starting like, yo, you gotta like relax. Like, and he kind of pushed, and I'll give him that he kind of pushed like, yo, you gotta, don't touch me. You gotta back up. Like you too close, man. And just the fucking, and liquor, fuck it, I don't care, man. Like the logic to go, I'm gonna take this hand and smack this motherfucker. And this other dude gets up with his lady, and like you could see him, he wanted to go, hey, wait, and literally registered like, I'm finna get my motherfucking shit split, and then proceeds to get the dog shit whooped. Like, bro took time to check her, like, I should sock you, but that's really a problem. Well, nigga, you. And all I'm saying is that white man should have left her and he should have sued her for fucking like reckless endangerment or some shit. Like, you put my life in danger. Like, you literally put my life in danger because you like, why would you do that? Like, why? What?
50% of that is on him, though. That is a black man with dreads and a white tee on. You guys were labeling us as thugs when we were wearing that. Granted, times have changed since then, but he's bigger than both. Like, he's a tier below you
And looking you eye to eye.
and looking at you eye to eye. He's not a small individual. Maybe I should rethink this a little bit. And he doesn't look like a fat man. He looks like he's got some shoulders on him, which means he probably does a little something. He might do a little bench press here and there, a little lifting of some sort. I look like random meth head in a Steelers jersey. And I think I'm going to square up with you just because, like, and then you proceed to start swinging with your lady who got you into this predicament. And you're not no bob and weave, no head movement, no nothing. Like, you leaning forward and sticking your chin out. Like,
he gave her one for good measure. Buddy was gone. Like, it just was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it just now I know everybody, that's a white woman, that's it is.
Where the white women at?
But just last week. Was it last week or was that even just that wasn't even last week? This last episode, that was Saturday. Now, if you can tell me what to do, you could tell me what to do. Now, Mans didn't try anything, so he's on another tier because he didn't even look up to go, hey, babe. But also, actually, take that back because I don't know, because this video started and it was already like past go time.
Yep. And
I don't know what Mans did, but either way, it wasn't enough for him to stand up and say anything to dude. So if you're gonna call your nigga bitch, I guess she could do that. But I don't know if that was it, because she just was doing a lot, and bro was like, he could see him in the beginning looking at dude like, what are you doing? Like, why are you not intervening with this?
I forgot who said it, but I remember watching a comedian who was talking about not understanding black man's posturing. And you can look and see, like, I'm not really trying to hit nobody, but I got a little tilt just in case I got to do some shit. And I'm looking past her to look around at him and let me speak to you. I want to talk to him. I'm trying to bypass all the ignorance that is in front of me. And I think that's what made her slap him, because she understood that I'm disregarding your ignorance. I'm paying attention to the person who's sitting down, who seems a little bit more level-headed about the situation. I'm trying to have an adult conversation and like communicate how to de-escalate this situation right now. And you will acknowledge me, nigger.
Now, see, there's two things. One, I just can't eliminate like the fucking privilege of a white woman to feel like, you need to. But there's also a piece of that where it's like, I understand the disregarding that it would feel like for somebody to just be like, I need to talk to him. But you are already fucking showing that you have no understanding of where this can go. No. I don't give a fuck what you like. It has that energy, like, what you finna do? And it's like, bro, like literally, like I'm about to put your fucking face in the parking lot. That nigga sitting down, pussy or not, like understands that there's a level of respect you have to give this unless you're really willing to fight. Right. You can't just get belligerent and slap somebody and think nothing was gonna happen. She slapped and immediately did one of these, like, no, nigga, like, we're fighting now. You did this.
You asked for this.
Yeah. So in that regard, it's just like, and I don't know, I've seen that across a fucking just a spectrum. It doesn't matter. Like, it's, hey, it's a little wild how you talking. Now, not to say you got to take shit from somebody just because they're a fucking dude, but it's like, right. I've seen a couple of situations where it's like, hey, this was here and you brought it over here. And like, not to say that that's over here, but like, it's really fucking on the border. And like, most countries, you get to the border, it's like, hey man, we will bomb your motherfucking, and you need to take 2 steps back because we're not gonna let you invade. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how you get fucked up. Like,
in some places they wouldn't even let you in the stadium because you're a woman. And you here just hauling off, slapping people just for fuck's sake. But even with you like mentioning dude's pussy, I won't even say that he's pussy as far as not intervening or not having some sort of interaction with the guy until he gets his lights knocked out. He's pussy for not, fellas. And this might be a common thing that you guys, talking to all of you, not just like within this conversation or this situation. And I mean this from the deepest, brightest, most sincere parts of my heart. Stop start checking your women. Like stop letting them act up in public and it goes unchecked. Like if that was your child, does your child get to act up in public and you don't do anything and you wait till you get home to reprimand?
I'm glad this is geared to dudes because women completely just threw what you said out the window because you compared them to children.
Of course. And I'm not comparing you all to children at all. But when your behavior is as such as the lady that we are describing, you're acting like a child. You're throwing a tantrum. And what happens when children throw tantrums and you disregard their behavior and you try to not acknowledge them, like said black man tried to do? They escalate. Now I have more grandiose movements and exaggerations because I want you to pay attention. I want you to acknowledge me. And that's what she did. I don't feel like I'm being acknowledged. Let me throw a temper tantrum. And that throwing of tantrums happens to be me throwing of hands, which led to some actual hands being thrown, which led to.
Now, see, I say, you could fucking, what the fuck is this?
In the chat?
Yeah. Throw it out the window. Thank you. Throw it all out the window. But I would say you could damn near fucking, as far as let's throw some fucking terminology. You could nullify the behavior on the dude on fucking lights out man's part, because as soon as it's like you gotta put a little patriotism on it, like I'm not fucking. If as soon as she gets up and stands in bro's face like it's fight time, that nigga should have went and got a beer. Where the fuck is you going? What was your step two, my nigga? Like, why would you even take it? Like, what are you? Like, what are you gonna do? Did you see who he had here with him? You just assumed that. Yes, let's put everybody. You don't know if he got it on him. You just did that, and you're not gonna fight. You're not gonna do a motherfucking thing. Like
that should be one of the approaches, not just to completely hold her accountable for her actions and just like throw her to the wolves and leave her alone. But more times than not, especially somebody like her, you're only acting like this because I'm here. If I remove myself from the situation altogether, are you still going to act the same way? No. Because you're utilizing my manhood as a safety net to just like, let me put this under me so I can just completely jump off the cliff and act a complete ass. And I know his manhood will catch me because he has to. He's supposed to protect me because he's the man. So I can do whatever I want. I can act however I want, but he's the one that has to clean this mess up. If I leave, then what? Hey, my brother, y'all go ahead and continue to argue. You do whatever you want. I'm about to go grab a beer. You want a hot dog or something? I'll be back. I'm gonna get some popcorn. Where are you?
And I'm biased. Proceed. I'm biased because I don't feel like bro was doing anything wrong, but I think like even in a situation where the black dude is like hella fucking, he's a complete super villain. I guess then I would completely blame the dude because at that point I know me, we're gonna just get to it. But that's only because like you're being mad disrespectful and she's not the initiator. If she's the initiator, I would be super pissed if it's like. There was no reason for that to get wherever the fuck it is, especially if I get rocked in the process. Yeah, you got to go, man. Like,
I shouldn't even.
Yeah, I'm probably. Yeah, it's probably a wrap. Like, I'm probably gonna go ahead and like, yeah, you might have to get that lift. Like,
oh yeah, you can walk home.
We good.
After this, you can walk home because you're not about to sit in a car in my car that I'm driving to take us back to wherever we came from and look at me sideways from the passenger seat in disgust as if it's my fault.
Or say some shit. It's not even. It's one. The discussion is my fault is like a complete just dickhead move. But conversations where it's like you say everything but the prop. Those seats are so close, and that's why you trip. Because I feel like if the seats was everybody was around filming, and I can't believe nobody came before. Motherfucker, you was wrong. Don't fucking talk to me about every other. No, nigga, this is your fault. I would see her
saying some shit like, I can't believe they didn't kick him. How dare they kick us out instead of him? Like, I can't believe.
Bitch, I want a divorce tomorrow.
Now, and I want half because I've been abused.
I got footage, nigga. Like, you are a hindrance to me and my fucking life.
You are a detriment to my health, mentally, physically, financially. And now socially, because this has gone viral.
I got season tickets, and now I can't even come back because I'm the motherfucker. Seat. Yeah, because I'm the motherfucker who get his motherfucking ass whooped. Like, Jesus.
I gotta wait till goddamn playoffs and hope people forgot.
I didn't even shave, nigga. Knock my whole hat off. Now that's on the internet. Like,
and this whole situation is just, and we're in Pittsburgh. I should be okay.
got kids now.
If this was like a temp of fucking Miami Dolphins game, I probably would have got killed.
Fuck, bro, not
or a Raiders game, it would have been a wrap.
You know what? That's a twofer. I had a whole joke about the white dude in this kid, but fuck that. Tanner's gonna go to school. Your dad got his ass kicked. That's it. Boom. I laugh. But it was like, was it like 2 or 3 weeks ago where like it was like a Rams game. And Charlie just like had the fucking cup. These motherfuckers are having an argument, but they're not fight level yet. They're just and dude is actually, I think in that video, kind of cooling. Like and she just says, you know, it'd be good to throw a whole fucking drink. She's 3 rows down, throws a drink, and everybody gets to knuckling, and she never gets her shit split. At least the white woman. I'm like, yo, that's really like, I know it'll be like, you know, I tell a motherfucker off, and you should never, I would never not want, I don't have it in me to not have a woman who doesn't have like a voice and shit like that. But I think it's okay for niggas to be like, no, I need some balance with that though. Like, you don't just, well, you like it when no. I like it right here. I like my shit at my spice. I like it at a 7. That doesn't mean you get to put 10 on it. I said I like my spice at a motherfucking 7. So you it's not a realm to be go off the rails. Like, I don't consider myself a punk motherfucker, but also I don't need to punch anything here. This is a moment where I need to
go that road. The Pacers set some shit off for less. Historically, like Stacks, that nigga down here lost his career for less. So why do you think, like, this is not when we talk about time and a place, which that was kind of part of the discussions that I've had, like, there's a time and a place to kind of check your lady, and this, no, this is the time and the place, because this is not a time or a place for violence. Only violence should be on the field.
I think it's a time and a place. But yeah, I mean, that it depends on the time and the place. Like, if y'all are, you know, you don't, I guess, embarrass nobody, or if she's having like a argument, you don't want to like, you know, make somebody feel dumb. But if what you're doing is putting us in like harm's way, like, then I got right to kind of go, hey, you need to relax, you need to chill out. And that's one of those defining moments, because that's some of that shit from last episode. You can't tell me if it's like I'm not coming at you, I'm noticing, I'm watching the room, and you're not seeing what the fuck I'm seeing because you and your fucking feelings, and you go, fuck it. All right, well then fuck this, because like there was a fucking I was a reel or TikTok or something I saw going around, and it was awesome. It was really good. Really good. You know why? Because everybody was fucking adult, and it's some fucking couple, and it's some song that goes like Snake, but the tagline was like, when your dude sees shit that you don't see about your friends, whatever, you know, she's blah blah blah, and the nigga just was like, you know, snake, and then she caught it and was like, snake. Now obviously there's implications where this nigga could be an insecure weirdo, but I like the overarching theme that I can fucking listen, not because I'm somebody's fucking lackey, because we have an element of trust. And when, goddamn it, when I said what I said, that's not listen to me, bitch, because listen to me, it's listen to me because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm good in here, and I'm telling you about this realm that I'm good at. Fuck is you going back and forth? And when you tell me about whatever the fuck you're good at, I don't question you. I say, okay, you know more than me. Cool. Shut up.
I've had this issue personally a few times, but what is it, in your opinion, because we're both males, clearly we don't have uteruses, so we can't answer this from a female's perspective. But what is it with women and listening? And I'll kind of context it with this way. They think that listening is somebody trying to dominate or control them, as opposed to like, no, I'm having a conversation with you and you're not comprehending what I'm saying. You're just reacting the way that you want to react. You're not listening to all the context, nonverbal cues, verbal cues, actual information. Like, I'm trying to give you game and you're not listening because you're too busy being triggered, thinking somebody's trying to control you because they want you to listen. No, I want you to comprehend and understand. I want you to be an adult. You're being a child right now.
That's it though. Like, that was it. All of those are the reasons. Like, there's like a severe lack of, you know, I would say one, like a lack of comprehension, and then go to therapy. But there's like a lack of understanding with like how you're approaching this. We're not communicating. You're not listening to me. You're reacting to what I'm saying because you have some unkept back, you know, some belief you keep in your back pocket that if a nigga tells me something that I don't like, then he's trying. Yeah, you're trying to dominate me, and it's like, that's not
No,
That's not it, bro. Like we're having I know more in this space, but that's something to understand that like in this relationship, you really don't trust this person. Like you don't trust I love and trust my man. No, you don't, because you don't listen to this nigga. You are now in defense mode and you're not recognizing what that is. I'm not angry. I'm not in defense mode. I'm not being this, that, and the third. It's because you don't scream. Niggas killers is mad quiet. Like nigga, like, yeah, I'm stabbing you. What's that shit with fucking like Step Brothers? Like, no, you're gonna die now. Yeah.
historically, I know we brought this up because I talked about Snake Eyes, but historically, ninjas aren't supposed to make any noise. Some of the most dangerous people on the planet, like you never even know they were there.
Ordering them to do something, my bad,
Go
or
ahead.
actively investing in 50-50 or 100% exchange of energy and information to come to an understanding. Well, what I would say on our end, we're trying to do what you're saying, but that is null and void if the other party has no understanding that what they're doing is not participating in this 150 thing. It's like, I'm coming to you, I'm not ordering you, I'm telling you like what you're doing is leading to this and this. I didn't even say, I've actually like never even do what the fuck I say, and
I never.
it's like, hey, you probably shouldn't do that because whoop doop doop doop. Then it turns into a whole you can't tell me that's not what I'm doing. But if we're gonna have a conversation where my opinion is respected and you know you give a shit, what you're doing is leading to this. Like you do this, this is gonna happen, and boom, 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 boom. And especially when the motherfucker rolls out like that, and it's like, well, what the fuck?
This situation isn't 100, 50. It's 125. And I'm trying to give you the other 75 so we can both be 100, 100. And you don't want to pay attention to what I'm telling you. That normally ends up being I know it's kind of random, but this is like my main pet peeve when it comes to the word mansplaining. Because you're reacting to the fact that I'm trying to tell you something and you don't want to listen, as opposed to like, no, this perspective has information in it. I may not utilize all of it, but it has some useful information. Maybe I should listen to it and we can continue to discuss it and just kind of figure out a middle ground. But no, don't mansplain to me. You've completely disregarded what this person has said because you wanted to react. Now it's still 125 because you didn't want to listen.
I have I guess, a question or a comment on like how do you sprinkle some discernment on somebody, because that can be an easy deflection like tactic of you're a man who explains something, therefore you are mansplaining, as opposed to when somebody is doing the mansplaining thing, like it exists from like hella misogynist niggas like, look at this fucking pretty adorable woman trying to think. But those are two different spaces.
It's not the same thing.
Yes, those are those who try to be a little submersive with it, but it's like you can understand what's what. And like, why are you not taking the time to step back, even like take a break, like fucking step away from the conversation for a bit, you know, and and ask the why, do some fucking self-awareness shit, do some fucking self-awareness shit, do some fucking self to go, all right, did that nigga just do some mansplaining shit? Did she just disrespect me too? Or am I triggered by A, B, and C? Like, is it a tone thing? Is it a delivery thing? Or did that what that person said actually mean, you know, A, B, and C? Like you can kind of, if you kind of break down what the statement is, it's like you're trying really hard to make that a mansplaining thing, but that motherfucker just know what they're talking about in this particular area. So what's the truth, my nigga? What you talking about?
Part of that truth that bugs me is, especially today, it's okay for women to have a perspective, as they should, but it's not okay for a man to have a perspective.
Isn't that as womansplaining if she says you're mansplaining? Oh shit. Fucking a conundrum.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh shit.
Oh, what a twist.
Said, yeah, now what about you?
But even
Fucker.
the terminologies, both women's splaining or mansplaining, they're both dumb. Just communicate. And part of communication is listening. Be able to listen. Men should be able to listen. Women should be able to listen. You guys both can have a conversation about these two different perspectives. Take from it what you can, like with a grain of salt, and respect those points. But when you don't, you end up knocked out in the middle of a fucking football stadium because she didn't want to listen and you didn't want to try to effectively communicate in the aspects that you should have.
I think also though, like it's okay to even be like acknowledge like I'm irritated now that this motherfucker said whatever the fuck to me. And even if you could just flat out, it ain't nobody saying you need to not have that. Like, wow, I'm that irritated me. Okay, then be adult enough to go, that irritated me. I can come back and address that, but I need to step back from that. And then be able to go, I need to address this objectively and like sit whatever the fuck I feel about this down. Because fuck man, just shot in the dark.
Right.
I could be wrong as shit.
Super wrong.
And like I say this, a completely understanding that whatever level you work in this field, like you are damn near trained from jump. I don't give a fuck if you're a goddamn janitor working at a residential or some shit. You have to be able to go. I gotta be able to talk to a motherfucker, even if it's on to a bullshit level, which half of it isn't. Like, even if it starts out like bullshit, I need to just be able to have a conversation where it's like, all right, man, you feel away, and I need to be able to sit here with you through the most I mean, goddamn, most irrational thoughts ever, and then we kind of work through. Oh, okay, cool. This kid's a fucking dick. Is he a dick, or did that motherfucker like call you a fat bitch 2 weeks ago and you've never let that shit go? Like, if you're not really in the business of unraveling, like, why you really even think that was a diss, or why you even whatever? Like, that person might have a point. You might have done that this way, and you think that shit's cool because nobody's ever said anything to you about it. That's cool. You're not a fucking piece of shit. Don't go hang yourself, but also fix it, motherfucker. Like,
That was kind of my stance for her husband. And I know we keep assuming that they're married. I don't know what their relationship is. I don't really care.
it should be done. If I'm him, it should be all wrap.
But that was kind of my point. Like, nobody's ever checked you. Like, I can tell from her disposition, her posturing, and how she engaged the situation that he never checks her when she gets like this.
Okay.
Never. Like, which is lack of communication on his part for sure. Not only are you miscommunicating or not communicating by way of intervening and telling her, hey, this is not an appropriate setting for this behavior, or hey, this behavior is out of line, or even like understanding nonverbal communication and knowing this individual that I see on a regular basis, when they get a little saucy, this is how they act, and it can escalate, especially with somebody like you're missing all the communication, verbal and nonverbal cues within this situation, and that's why you got knocked out. For her, she's never been able to learn how to improve her communication skills or recognize these cues because you don't do your job and say, hey, not okay. We not doing that. Y'all do that to your kids and put them in timeout, but you won't do that to your lady or your man, whoever's acting out of pocket.
You're not afraid of.
You ain't afraid of other people. You're afraid of your spouse.
Yeah, you're not afraid of like losing your kids. You're not afraid of like, your kids not fucking with you. Like, you understand your position of importance and power. That to me looks to him is like, I'm so scared to lose this person. I don't say anything to them.
Absolutely
because
not.
she'll say, you're abusive. You fucking, you're mansplaining me. You're trying to, control me.
Just gaslighting.
Yeah. Or yes, she'll gaslight the fuck out you, or you're too weak to just fucking leave, seeing that she's not, that's abuse. Like, she might be an abusive motherfucker. She might not punch him in his eye, but it's like
she's manipulative.
All that shit. And he's too scared to say anything, and she not gonna fucking change her shit. She likes being in a position of power. Like, he, buys my shit and I show up and I'm his like forever my lady, for no fucking reason. And he
your dinner too.
Yeah, he just too scared to go, hey man, you're an asshole, love you to death, but you're not a nice person. No. And she's like, you're a fucking blah, and I can go get, and he is too scared to go, well, fucking go then. Like, love you to death. But like, if you feel like you can go find better, which just means enabling, then do
Definitely. That. Not even that, but on a more serious note, if that's how she gets, I know we assume that she's been drinking. That's kind of like the speculation that was going around, and that
we don't know anything. People,
we don't know anything.
So
I'm just going based off.
I don't know it. We fucking don't.
We don't. So I'm just going based off what a lot of people were saying as far as her being sauced up, liquored up, whatever the case is. But if you know that that's how she gets when she's liquored up, that's even a substance abuse conversation. Like, you don't need to drink, especially in public.
Who the fuck you to tell me when the fuck to drink? I'm a grown ass woman, Carl.
That's how you act when you get belligerent and you get abusive. When
spell belligerent. tell me what the fuck I be. This is it, man. If you triggered out there, man, look, just
I
it's
can spell
okay.
it DIV. Or that's how you spell belligerent.
Okay, so I get belligerent, but don't nobody talk about you when you fucking get drunk and like to take naps, and now we can't fucking
We can't
but
go
it's only
anywhere.
me. It's only me.
Right, gaslighting like a motherfucker. But those are things
Examples, folks.
simple examples of stuff but if you get that done at home, it saves you from having to get it done in public. We've been arguing for the last few months about your substance use, and finally we can go out and understand, like, look, we're not having any drinks here at the game because I don't want anything happen. Gotta have those conversations. Even, I know, all jokes aside, but on a serious level, like, understand the people that you're dealing with and communicate them about their issues. Let them know, like, this is not healthy for you, and in this situation it ain't healthy for me either. My jaw can't take it.
I mean, yeah, and those are the conversations that's like where you say, like, relationship is a mirror. Maybe you didn't know that you were a belligerent asshole. Maybe you didn't know that you were an enabling fuck nigga or whatever. And now you go like, God damn, why did this situation happen like that? That's your moment to go, hey, this relationship is now doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And that's bringing up you could have been doing all the self-work you needed to do. Somebody posted a video, I think it was Kyrie. Like, the relationship is going to bring up, like, hey, you thought you were done. Guess what, bitch? You're never fucking done. It's like relationships is like Goku, man. Like, you gonna always have some shit to just be amazing on. Like, cool.
It's another level to reach.
Which is not bad if you Goku that bitch. And goddamn it, man, Dragon Ball Z. If you don't watch it, you're that's the show that anybody who doesn't know,
right,
get the fucking reference. But like any anime protagonist, you just
self betterment.
Yeah, the whole thing is push past your fucking limits in whatever way. Every show is just,
it's always that same concept.
Yes,
starting from here and becoming better, if not better than what you thought you could be, because you continue to push past your situation, push past your limits.
Swear, like, and maybe if it's not even like conscious, but motherfuckers really be getting in relationship, be like, because relationship is not whatever you finna say. Guess what y'all is now? No. Y'all got the relationship is, you don't never hit the brake, nigga. Like, of course not. This car don't never run out of gas, and this fucking road will never end. Like, so
you didn't understand accountability when you were single, so you damn sure not about to understand it here in this relationship. That was part of my gripe. Like, why do we have to be accountable for somebody else's terrible behaviors and mannerisms? Like, we shouldn't. It's not fair to us. I'm saying as men, because the situation involves the man taking the biggest of L's on a large. Not only did you go viral, but you also got it done in front of hundreds of thousands of people. So that's just a double L. But that's because you had to be accountable. Your manhood had to be accountable for somebody else's bad behavior. And as an adult, we are taught that we have to be accountable for our own actions.
I mean, that's just I think we don't pay attention to how much we just like stand on these fucking social standards just for reasons. Like, and I don't think we pay attention to standing on some of these social values is the same. Like, you can't do both. Like, the reason that, you could be like a man who doesn't talk about his feelings because you were just knocking motherfuckers in the head and chopping wood and laying dick and eating chicken, and then you didn't speak. And then she was super just unnecessarily emotional and connected and shit. But now that you can balance the scale, it's like, they don't say like, nigga, don't go to work, but it's like, you need to have another understanding of how this whole fucking shit works. Like, okay, he's now more of an open individual, and now you're realizing that you're not a good listener because you've never had to listen. Your granny wasn't a good listener. That nigga never talked. She has she's not a great, she gives amazing whatever. All of her statements is just about enduring, because once you live long enough, you just learn to hate this motherfucker less or whatever. It's just like, everything. I think it's worth it to examine the relationship and examine your fucking background, this motherfucker's background, how this shit works. Like, it's all of these things are individually like complex in and of themselves. So you have to kind of start, after you get done crying and fuck this bitch and fuck, you objectively go, I love this motherfucker to death, or I like this motherfucker over here. What about this is actually working and not working? And then ask yourself, like, shit, ask yourself the questions you would tell. If you was the friend talking to you, like that fucking stupid ass fucking me, would you date you? Absolutely. Cause no, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't date you because you're not looking at you as a part. You like, I love me. My ego dick is huge as fuck reading this meme, but it's like, think about you, like step out from the meme and stand over here as your best friend to yourself. And you've been watching you in relationships. Think a little bit. Bitch, you kind of suck. My nigga, you really are like a whack ass like partner. Like you haven't done whatever the fuck to be supportive of this individual. I don't give a shit about that shit y'all be talking about going to stupid ass restaurants, whatever. Like it's cool, but that's not the crux of a relationship. But y'all aren't supportive. Y'all don't communicate. Y'all fuck. Y'all take pictures. And then y'all fuck some more.
Eat.
You eat, you sleep, but you don't like
Drink,
y'all not connected.
smoke.
Yeah. So you haven't done that. That's not to say you do that and destroy the relationship, but you now realize you've been sitting with this motherfucker for 2 years and haven't done shit. Y'all been sitting here like, what was that fucking like that? I've said that before, like that Ruby D fucking it was like Ruby D and fuck, like she was like Will Smith had talked and Jada had talked to them, and she was like, y'all been together 17 years, you don't know each other,
right?
And that's believable if you think about it in the context of, especially for them in this example, like you've done a movie, you've done a show, you've done this. We've really been we meet together and all we want to do is like fuck and kiss and blah blah blah. But you didn't realize that like she's into fucking opera music and poetry now, and he like, what the fuck you start doing that? We don't know because we haven't really been connecting, which is not a bad thing. It's just you realize, oh shit, we haven't been. So now you take the time to go do that shit,
right?
As opposed to just.
Or you take the opposite approach as what Marduk Cartier is bringing up in the comments as far as older women grooming young men.
They're fucking predators. Thank you for the Felice Johnson voice, because they're fucking predators. And they should go to jail the same way everybody else do. That shit's nasty.
But that's another way of ducking accountability and using manipulation. The person that you're with that's your age, you may manipulate and gaslight them so they don't get to hold you accountable for your behaviors, or you find somebody that's younger than you that you can manipulate and groom into thinking that the bullshit that you have is normal, standard, and should be acceptable.
You know, this is how you really treat a woman, or is how you really treat a man, or they're older, they know better. No, the fuck they don't. They just been age is not synonymous with like wisdom or any type of growth. You could be a 70-year-old fucking 17-year-old and haven't learned shit, and you just saying a lot of weird predatory shit.
Definitely.
Yeah, I like how she, I need my things young. I can't do nothing with no old. Why, weird nigga? Like, fuck is wrong with you?
Outside of sex, I get it. Like visually, because you're aging and you want something that looks younger and supple, but thinking past that, it's a fucking headache.
Yeah, because like if your sole focus is like, and I'm not condoning, because I'm a physical nigga. I like my shit looking good. I'd be horny. But you be seeing these 50 and 60-year-old women that be like fucking fire, and I'm like, I would toss a fucking 20-year-old bitch for this old woman like today.
Angela Bassett still.
Fam, like it's not
Angela
even
Bassett still. Ashanti, we just had a Fat Joe give us a full-blown play-by-play how that still looks good, and it's elderly. It's not elderly because she's still young, but to y'all think 40 is old. She still looks wonderful. All the women, damn near all the women that we grew up paying attention to still look marvelous.
They skip social media and motherfuckers telling them what beauty looks like, and they just was minding their motherfucking business.
This Ford looks wonderful.
But I would say like niggas and women do that, like to quote you, like we're more the same than we fucking realize. Like motherfuckers is predators. I don't like the young shit is so I can have somebody who's stupid, who doesn't know about life, who is just naive. Like they don't have a lot of experience. You have all the internet in the world, but you just don't have a lot of experience. So it's like, oh, I could tell this motherfucker anything. It's a controlled dynamic, and you should go to jail. Like
you should. You absolutely should. Now, granted, I've been in those situations where I've been the older dude in the situation. It wasn't a relationship, but a situation. But even like I understand, like I got to keep you at arm's length. That there's so much that you have to learn, and because I actually give a shit about you, I want you to have the understanding that I have to share. But then I met with the.
She said,
"Don't listen."
That she was pulling up like, "We're in love," and you was like, "Bro, out of the 6 months that we've known that each other's existed, we've only really interacted 12 times. Out of those 12 times,
Absolutely.
only four of them have been longer than 4 hours. Like, what are you talking about?
What do we actually have in common? What do you actually know about me? What do you actually like to do outside of get cute and go be somewhere and be seen?
That's a conversation of like, and I be trying, and I be getting called like, you just a downer. I'm like, I'm not a downer. I don't. Contrary to popular belief, this is not a platform about like dissing love or even dissing marriage. Like, we want motherfuckers to do it, but do it right. Like, it just feel
Right.
like motherfuckers are doing like surface shit. Like, motherfuckers say some shit like, we be together every day. We fucking love each other, and it's like, what's this motherfucker's favorite, whatever character, or what's her favorite anime character, and what's his favorite whatever the fucking favorite food or whatever. You don't know because y'all have been spending quantity time, and that does not correlate to quality time. You just been around each other for a long time, and you haven't really done any out of any of those interactions. Y'all just been next to each other. But at what point in time did y'all sit, talk, and I hate these fucking like, because they just seem corny and I feel like they're disingenuous. But these like, sit and catch a vibe, like you didn't.
You didn't.
You didn't really sit and like, I'm not just saying like, let's like fuck it. Like on the first, like when motherfuckers talk about you don't talk about politics and religion. Hey, yes you do. First fucking day. What I think that Joseph had a point, because I'd be mad too if a nigga came out the sky and fucked my old lady and then I had to raise his son. Like, yeah, let's start the date just like that. Like, what? Like, yeah. Like, maybe the devil had a point, man. We suck. And that nigga was perfectly fine saying, fuck this shit. I'm not kicking it with these niggas. They suck, man. They eating shit. I tricked this goofy bitch. Like, you fucking with them? Like, I got celestial knowledge and you fucking with them over me? You know what, nigga? Not wrong. And if she go, blasphemy, that's not the woman for you. Like, you shouldn't have to like tuck your shit for pussy, and not for dick either, man. Just because he goes Jezebel, bitch, pull your ankles out. It's not 1872.
At all.
Let your ankles breathe.
Show all of that within respectable moderation, of course.
Yeah, put them on the shoulders of somebody who, like, really matters, brings out the best in you.
Right.
You want to do the best for them, not because even that stupid shit, somebody who really like stimulates, and I'm just no. Like,
They didn't do any of that. You motherfuckers got high and you thought the quote unquote vibe was way better than it actually was. You guys were inebriated. That's what that was. And you mistake that for a connection because you're stupid.
yeah, like, even still back to that, like, I would date me. Like, do you want to be better if I could with this motherfucker? Like, damn, this motherfucker's dope. I want to be doper. But if you like, even that I'm the prize shit doesn't always make sense to me, because then what the fuck? Then that means you shooting down, you insecure fuck. Like,
Not even that. Like, you're not challenging me to be better. That's actual love. You're so perfect the way you. No, you're not. And I don't mean that because I hate you. I want to demoralize you, but I want you to be better, because if you're going to be my support system, you have to believe that you can be better, so you can believe that I can be better and we can push one another. That's actual love. Actual love is me being able to look you in your eye and say, as somebody that cares about you, you're full of shit.
I'll be like you said, like, I'm gonna keep using this. We're the same because it's a good jumping off point. If I want to stand in the room and be fucking Tony Stark and Thor, like, oh, Pepper Potts, she couldn't be here because she's fucking like, running a multi-billion-dollar company. And then Thor was like, well, I heard Jane's getting you guys called the Nobel Prize. Like, the fuck I look like pulling up and it'd be like, she pretty. And
she's a waitress.
She suck mean dick. And
Right.
She a bad bitch. And the motherfucker be like, that's great. Well,
your favorite bar girl, your favorite hookah girl, your favorite, like, that's great, but what do you have to offer me aside from being pretty? And vice versa, when it comes to dudes, like, outside of having money, what do you have to offer? Like, you guys have to pay attention to these things as opposed to just looking for somebody that's going to co-sign your bullshit, or somebody that you can manipulate because they're younger than you, as Marduk Cartier says. I need her to just now be menstruated. That's fully, that's full-fledged, like, that's Middle Eastern Taliban status.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
Medieval times. Like, has she bled?
She's bled for the first time. She's perfect.
She's bled and ready to be wed. Like,
she is perfect. She's ripe for the picking. That's awful.
Go to hell.
Just bypass jail, just straight to hell.
Yeah, go. I mean, go to jail.
No,
Okay, go to jail and then go to hell directly after.
I just go straight to hell
Yeah, you can go to hell alive off that. Just
and find all the 25 versions
wouldn't that
that
be
you
a
was looking
motherfucker
for.
like you die in hell and just wake up right where you was at? Like, God, shit. Like, yeah, nigga, now it's really on, motherfucker.
Just another day for you, partner.
Well, thank you guys for coming. Thank you, Marduk Cartier. What the fucking
Marduk
is that
Cartier.
your real name?
Marduk
it's
Cartier.
Either way, if that's a real name or if that's the name you just made up, like holy shit, like real nigga shit. Thank you for watching. Watch again. Watch some more shit. And actually, not to make it like weird, but
I'll do it.
rest in peace to the fucking late great Ian Gotti West, man. Hug your people. Check on them, man. Stay healthy. I'm not getting into no fucking debates about any of whatever, but a really dope motherfucker, man. And salute to him and his people, and keep him in your prayers and stuff. See y'all later.